Hello everybody, welcome back to the Arcane Duels League game. I'm Puddnhead, and I have Sharkbait,
Hey!
and Koshade,
Hey!
and we found a day when we could all get together and cast a game.
It's a
And
miracle!
this is the game that we had available to us. This is Reddice's Paladin versus Knabbmaster's Wizard.
The
And-
wizard!
And we're
Back to
hopefully going to get through this game without saying Wizard all the time.
I have missed the three of us casting together. Okay, so I'm pretty much expecting. Let's just see how this goes. But like,
All right.
we were talking about this earlier. How
having played against Knabbmaster already.
every
Yeah.
match we've seen against Nab has been the same.
Yep.
Typical opening. So
It
I'm,
has
like,
been
curious.
Gate Gremlins, which is a very strong strategy. It's not meant to take away from him, but he's done the same thing each time because he hasn't been forced into changing.
I kind of think that this tournament's showing that people just need more practice against wizards. That's
Oh
kinda
yeah,
what I'm
definitely,
like.
because the wizards are whooping.
But, I mean, I don't know. Let's see how Red Dice does in this
I also
game.
remember the outcry when the wizard got changed. Like, oh, they're terrible. They should never be played again.
Never use wizards.
Never. They have the best record in the league.
Alright, so we
Granted,
are
most
already
data
in the first quick cast phase of the first round because I couldn't be bothered to make this exact. And it looks like Knabbmaster is going first and has spent his quick cast marker. So here we
Looks
go.
like it's paused. There we
Oh,
go.
It is
It is
paused.
Okay.
Getting us to the point.
Don't mind me. Oh, there we go.
And Gate.
Called it. And Gate fairly aggressively, actually.
Yeah.
Gate
Yeah,
and Rock. Alright,
Yeah, Mana Rock.
Mana
I've been
Rock.
seeing the mana shard a lot in this tournament, and I wonder if it's because of the new card or if it's just like what people want to do as a standard thing now.
I'm just curious why people run the Rock as opposed to the Harmonize. Is it mana? Is it cheaper? I actually didn't look. I guess it
the
is
same-
cheaper.
It's the same cost,
Yeah.
but if the gate dies, theoretically you have a chance to not.
Oh yeah, you can get a use out of it.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
if
you could
you
put
had,
a
like,
Battle
a-
Forge there. You could stand your Wizard in there.
Oh my god, we have a very late ballista. Or I'm sorry, not late.
Very
Aggressive
early.
turn one ballista, no second card play.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, so I'll make a point. This is telegraphing what is going on. That's not necessarily bad as long as you follow it up with some heavy firepower.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
so
he's gonna shoot the
basically he had
gate,
11
right?
mana.
Yeah.
And the question is he ready for Knabbmaster to deploy? Well, I guess we know what he's going to do. Sorry.
I mean,
Is he ready for him to deploy a gargoyle and put defend, or is he just assuming he's going to get to shoot something that he wants to shoot?
Honestly, like him not playing Hawkeye, it says to me that he doesn't think. If I were Nab, that he's casually going for something. Like he played this maybe to think a double move.
I'm also
ballista.
gonna make another point when you're done. Sorry.
Yeah, but like, if he had Hawkeye planned, I would have been like freaking out right now. But the fact that he doesn't, that lets me think that maybe he had some other card, like a creature that he was like either gonna play a creature or ballista.
Yeah, maybe.
But like the fact that he didn't put down an enchantment makes me think it's not a rush. Although this ballista is clearly some.
Nah, the ballista means it's a rush. I just think that it looks like a rush at the expense of all else.
It's just why not do Hawkeye? Maybe he's not doing attack spells, so that sort of thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm looking at the mana. The mana for a gargoyle is what, 11?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 and 3. So yeah, I guess he does have enough. He has enough mana to cast gargoyle and.
Oh,
Yeah,
do you
gargoyle and
think he
defend.
didn't cast Hawkeye because he didn't want to give Nab a mana? Is that why?
Maybe, but I'm not sure what that 1 mana would do for you.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I
if
think he
the
could
thing
die.
with the gate is if it doesn't have a channel booster like the stone or
Yeah, yeah. Then you
Harmonize,
can manipulate
then
it.
you can manipulate it.
But
and
it
make
already
count.
does at that point.
Right. So
Then you're just gonna
because-
lose actions.
Right, because he is already getting enough mana each turn.
Yeah.
Then
Yep. Gets the 5 down.
Alright. And I mean,
Yeah.
Gate is tough to kill.
It
He's
is pretty
gonna-
tough.
He's gonna.
It's about as
Oh,
tough.
wow.
Oh,
He's
yep,
gonna
there it
force
is.
hammer that.
All
Well,
right, so
that
5
was-
damage from the hammer is a little low,
a little low.
but a second hammer would do it,
So if he would have Hawkeye,
and he has the mana for it as well.
Well, it
if
looks
would've
like
he would have been at 11, maybe 12.
Maybe. And it looks like he actually instead guarded and then used his quick cast for the hammer. Just he did the wrong order.
Okay, so he has 11 mana left. and he's not using his quick cast again. I really think that if he's rushing, he needs these second actions to counter something. Or to
Actions
build
are
something.
falling back. I bet he did predict a gargoyle.
Yeah, so
So preparing for the gargoyle, that makes sense to an extent for me. What I don't understand is I don't know. I feel like preparing for a gargoyle, you still want to do something extraneous, like bring something to the table. Don't just, I don't know.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I
entirely
mean, don't
possible.
not
He's got
cast it.
20 mana this turn. He could cast a big creature like Allendale or something and be
Maybe.
able to take out some of this stuff.
Well, I guess what I was thinking was, the way you deal with gargoyles, what, Tanglevine or Force Push, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not use them anyway?
Oh.
Yeah, there's no gargoyle there, but you can hold that gremlin in place.
I mean, the gremlin
No,
gets
you
-2
can't.
to his defense.
He's going to teleport.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that guy.
I
Okay,
guess
well,
using
Tanglevine
it-
maybe not, but Force Push, I don't know. Force Push him into the wall would still be good.
Maybe.
I mean, it's better than doing nothing, I think.
Honestly, I think turn 1, if he would have cheetah speed, he could have dealt with the gargoyle and had the ballista down all in the same thing and been able to do force hammer.
Not sure, because he could have run in there and punched the damn gargoyle.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and then have a
having
backup, spell of some kind in
And
case
then,
there isn't a
then
gargoyle.
he'd be able to Luminous Blast if you wanted to.
Yeah, have a backup spell. So yeah, that's another good option. There's from a strategic standpoint, have more options than just the one line.
I think we've seen a lot of times that Red does not favor attack spells. He favors non-attack spells. And this
maybe.
is the part where I know he's asked me on multiple occasions how certain people play their books and how they get such success against wizards and druids and such. And the answer is really attack spells. I mean,
ignoring an entire. I've said this about creatures before, but ignoring an entire section of spells is you're just asking for trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So
No, I just think that it looks like his attack spells are like ballistas that are like reusable.
so we see Nab revealing both of his enchantments during the deployment phase so that a Seeking to Spell cannot be cast.
Oh, it's a rust.
that is a good strategic play. Actually, I like the rust play as well. But let's talk about the Seeking the Spell play or the Seeking Prevention spell play there. That was good too, because by revealing it when he did, you could potentially make one dead card in Red's hand.
That's just a solid tactic.
Mhm.
Honestly,
And then, sorry, what?
honestly, if he had a Seeking Dispel, I don't know if that would have been the biggest of deals, because it's like you're gonna use your action on that. Well,
That's true. But this way here, he's a dead card and can't use it.
That's true.
And,
No,
and I like
that's
the
fair.
preemptive rust because it makes him not likely, but not.
Yeah.
You don't want to cast armor now,
I mean,
which
armor-
just adds to the advantage that Nab has.
God, armor -2 right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have 2 damage though.
He's just going for the Paladin here. He's like,
I
go
don't
ahead,
see
and
why
take
he
out,
wouldn't, yeah.
go ahead and take out my gate. He's rolling very
Oh, he's
poorly,
rolling.
too.
Very,
Oh,
very
no.
under average right now.
Dude. Well,
Like
okay,
on
so
7 dice,
Red-
he's done 2 damage.
So red is under 1, and
No,
Nab
he's
is
even now.
under-
Yeah, after that,
Oh, yeah, he
after
just
that
rolled
Counter
out.
Strike.
And
Yeah.
Nab missed the defense.
And there's the
as
Jinx.
well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
look at that.
Jinx in the armor. Nice.
Very
And-
cool play.
So
from
Nab is pressing the advantage that he took for himself, and that's one of the things the gate can do for you really early on. Is give you a huge I don't know if it's economy, but the advantage here is clearly going to the wizard who has a spawn point pumping out fast creatures, and
Yeah.
the paladin is in range of those fast creatures and the wizard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the
while the
paladin's
gate
an
may go
evade can
down,
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have armor to resist the damage. He doesn't have, dice to actually deal with these gremlins. So his
Yeah.
challenge is kind of.
so while the
bad
gate
right
may
now.
go down, we're seeing what happened to the same thing that happened to me. Actually, is that by the time the gate dies, there's 3 gremlins on the field, and you're not able to recover.
Yeah, and I want to point out that the wizard is probably one of the best mages in a rush situation. Just
Oh yeah,
because
their
of
counter
the
rush is
zap.
awesome.
The zap punch combo is actually super strong.
Yeah, for
And
1
not
mana.
to mention, yeah, not to mention like an innate Voltaric shield. Like you can just kind of brawl with anyone in a rush situation and come out decently okay.
Mm-hmm.
Knabbmaster choosing not to deploy from his gate here.
That's
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
Shouldn't he have been higher? No, I guess did Red. Oh, because Jinx. Never mind.
Yeah, that Jinx is really messing up red dice. 29 mana, guys.
Well, let's see. What else did he do on his turn? he cast the armor, and then did he go on guard again?
I think he guarded.
I don't think he guarded.
What did he do?
Because he'd be on guard now.
No,
he only has one card in his discard, so maybe he had a Seeking Dispel.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't catch anything.
Yeah. He doesn't have a guard right now,
no, he had a guard, and he used the counter strike hit the gremlin.
Yeah, but
That's
that
what
was
happened.
from the turn. That was from the turn before.
Okay. So he basically.
Either way.
I mean, he made it so that the gate didn't actually get the ability to deploy. So.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah, by
argued
not
that
casting-
Knabbmaster did that to himself.
Maybe, but not casting anything doesn't seem like a good trade when you're already behind.
though. He might have punched the gremlin.
Yeah, he may have. It seems like, yeah.
All right, so the gate is down, and now he has to survive. He's got a Crusade banner up here.
He's gonna back
I
up
like
in
this
banner.
play.
Okay.
He's got 20 mana. Yes, bring out 2 creatures. Like now. You know.
Yeah, if you get, especially something like
Oh, he enchanted.
what's that angel?
He enchanted the wizard. Is what he did.
Yeah, what's that angel though? The healing one.
Oh,
he jinxed the wizard.
The Messenger of Bimshallah?
That one, thank you.
Or the
That
Grey
one.
Angel?
No, the messenger. I think right. Is the messenger the flying one?
Yeah,
They're both
it
flying.
heals you 4 dice.
Oh. Well, there's one like the broken wing is not flying, but
Yeah, it heals you 4 dice. The Messenger of Bimshallah.
yeah, that one's what I'm
You get
looking for.
a
So like, if you
light
drop a
sword.
messenger of Bimshallah and I don't know, Knight of Westlock next turn,
Dude, ouch.
you're in way better position than you are right now.
Gremlin's doing. Is that 5?
And this is what I'm talking about. So you're going to heal 4 dice. You're going to take another 4 dice with no armor on here just a second because of the pillar.
Pillar, dude. Holy
But
cow.
if you drop that angel out, you have a flyer that's tough to reach, and if you drop the knight out, you have a knight with a defense who's got tons of armor. And this is with Nab rolling low, by the way. This is another roll where he's rolled 3 under.
The gremlin rolled pretty high that time, though.
That's true.
I mean, not having armor is killing him, man, because he has
Literally.
tons of little dice keeps getting thrown at him, and that's just destroying him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even have ages. Like anything would help him right now. You know.
And I recognize the fact that it's a little bit of a panic, like, oh shit, I'm surrounded by things. Get something off the banner. If he doesn't get something off the banner, I think this is something that he did
that's
wrong.
his play. Yeah, I agree with you.
You need something, and my suggestion would be a Knight of Westlock plus that Messenger of Bimshallah, which is 22 some odd mana, 20 mana total from you.
22 mana, yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
30
So
So-
you still have enough to put armor on.
Yeah, exactly. You have enough to put armor on.
Two
The armor
pieces.
won't
Like
help
you could put a
because
leather
of
and
rust.
a radiant breastplate on.
The rust is still on him, though. I'll make the point.
I
But,
get that, but as soon as you get radiant breastplate and leather on,
I'm not saying it's a problem. I just said that's the one thing we need to worry about for this turn is the alternate idea is you can put leather on, heal, and then next turn get rid of the rust.
Honestly, I think Rhino Hide chest piece is what I'd go.
Also a good idea too, yeah, because you can afford both.
You might as well get the best armor.
you can't afford both if you're gonna.
Well, you can't reveal
cast-
the rhino,
Yeah.
but you can still put it on preloaded, so it doesn't help you this turn, but it helps you for the future. There's a lot of options, I guess, is where I'm going with this.
Now he's only
So-
got 12 damage. I mean, if he gets a good heal now, then it's basically reset. As long as he can
And that's
get
what I was
his
saying.
creatures out and rolling into these.
If you did the Messenger of Bimshallah on a minor heal, you're looking at 9 dice of healing from that. If you can get a leather on, you can effectively have armor next turn. You're gonna have, tactically speaking, you want to stand in the
Yeah.
pillar so that you don't get pushed back into the pillar.
He's getting rid of that. Okay, he's gonna go up to 4 armor. Or
2
two-
armor.
All right, 2 armor.
That's good.
He's still got no creatures though.
Is he gonna guard? He's gonna move. Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh,
Okay, so
go
moving here's a
dude.
bad play,
That was
and the reason is I guarantee anybody who plays Pillar of Righteous Flame is about to put you back into the pillar.
Yep. Especially when there's a banner out. Like
Yep.
they want to pick at something, you know? Man?
Yeah, and if I was Nab, I would move left, push you into the pillar, and then shoot your banner maybe just because you can.
Yeah.
At
if
this
he's
point,
not-
you have all the momentum. And there's the teleport, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's three
So
mana.
it's 4 additional dice that you don't need to take.
Yeah. And he's gonna take a burn from this. Yikes.
The good news is the armor helped him here. So
Okay, so the armor saved him 2 damage so far.
yeah,
Oh no.
well, that was there's 3 crits making up for the blanks earlier.
And dodgy gremlin.
Yep, the dice are starting to swing back. about to even, I think, on him.
There's another
Nice.
rust, I bet.
Red is just getting pummeled here.
Yeah. And this is why you need those creatures to help. Like, he's got 2 creatures that you can help prevent pummeling with.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's always frightening to be in this position, but I think the creature part right now is exactly what you need. Once the creatures are done, you need to worry about stabilizing, and I don't know that there's a good way to time that, because both of those kind of rely on some stabilization and depends on what the other guy does.
So let's see. So it's Red's initiative, right?
Yeah, if you want to pause it real quick, we can talk it out.
Okay, we can pause this real quick.
Or just go down to 1x.
It's Red's initiative, right? So
Yeah.
if he has a Seeking Dispel, assuming, well, there you go. It's Unholy
Yeah, no,
Reversal.
what that is, but we still analyze it.
I would have assumed that this is a Poison Blood or another.
I was thinking Rust, but
or
either
another,
way, yeah.
or another Rust, right?
Yeah.
If he prepares a Seeking Dispel, because the Poison Blood won't get, or this particular wouldn't get revealed until the healing actually happened.
Yeah.
And deploys 2 large creatures. How much mana does he have left for that?
He still has the same effective mana as he did last turn.
So he's got 28.
So if he did the 2 large creatures, he would be at 6 mana. Sorry, he'd be 2 shorter than what he was.
Yeah. So
The 2
But he doesn't
creatures
have
we
Rust
spoke
on
about
him.
earlier. So
Rest on him, though.
he doesn't have Rust, and since we know that he has Unholy Reversal,
Well, he
we can
doesn't
also
know
make
that.
the point. No, he doesn't know that, but in hindsight, what we do know is that one of the better lessons to learn here is that I think getting the creatures out, especially ones that might heal you, if
Yeah.
you get those out prior to there being a face down enchantment on you at all, you don't have to worry about it.
I don't
I mean,
know if he
if
runs
that-
Messenger. I'm gonna play
If
again.
that-
Oh yeah, you're right. He may not. I'm just
If-
tossing an idea out there for the.
If that enchantment is a jinx, like, and you on your paladin, like, you don't, like, any of your first cards you don't really want to play, so you're gonna have to probably want to bring something out of that banner, because
Yeah.
I need something to happen.
He's-
You know?
Oh, he just
Still-
shot. Yeah.
Wow, he still didn't put anything on that banner.
Yeah, he nailed the gremlin, which is good, but 2 creatures right now would swing this game back in his favor.
I
Like,
want to see how much mana he ends up with, because he has 22 mana now after playing a card, like,
yeah,
and he has a quick cast only.
and he's
Yeah,
gonna
he-
guard from the thing, and then he's gonna heal. Okay, I
Again,
mean,
he's moving out of the pillar. That's such a mistake, I think.
it is a huge mistake. He rolls really well on the heal, though,
Okay, that was good.
but he's
So-
still in a bad board state.
So
Like,
let's
you're
see.
not helping your board state.
He's got 15 mana left. So,
And he's gonna be acid
oh
ball.
my
It's a great-
gosh, that's a
great-
huge acid ball.
That
This
is.
why acid
That
ball
was
is
a
good.
great roll
I mean,
too.
It only gets 1 corrode, but that makes you not want to replace the.
Yep, and there's the teleport again. Moving out again. This is you. 2 turns in a row. You got to remember the lessons you learned from the
he
last
gets
one, all right?
Burned.
Yeah. Remember the lesson from last
Yeah.
turn where you moved out and you got burnt once. You might as well stay under the pillar and save yourself 8 dice total right now. 8
Take
dice
three-
less right now is what he would be at.
Damage, piercing 1, fails the defense, but only gets 1. Yeah, see, he doesn't have bear strength or anything out there to help
Right.
him.
He hasn't been
all
able
this
to.
mana.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to. He has a lot of mana. The actions are what's killing him. And if he had creatures out there to join him, he'd have more action.
The early game is
advantage.
where you need that.
Yeah.
Those 2 actions that we saw him just sort of guard or something like that,
Mhm.
like, or just place down a ballista.
Yep.
That's when you need some buff, whatever it is. It's paladin, maybe bear strength, so you can challenge, things like that.
One of the things that always helps me when I'm doing this, when we're playing games like this one, is that you slow and methodical. Like it's really tempting. It's really easy to rush through. Like, oh god, I gotta kill the gate, and
Yeah.
get tunnel vision. If
That's
you do
right.
slow and methodical, okay, what can kill me now? Okay, what can I kill? Can I get the board state back to even? Can I get it closer to even than it was? What is the next step? Just plan 1 step ahead. Don't ignore 3 steps ahead as well, but plan 1 step ahead first. Make sure it jives with your 3 steps ahead plan, and then move out.
Yeah.
Some of the slow and methodical play would help a lot here, I think. And I see a lot of panic plays going on, especially the 2 times where you move out of the pillar against a mage who has teleport in school.
Yeah, like, granted, he might have.
Well,
just
the other
teleported
thing
you
is, though,
anyway.
right, he's not saving anything because the teleport is going to put him back in anyway and get the damage.
He could
Well, that's what I'm saying.
theoretically-
He's adding 8 dice to himself by
No,
moving
he's
out
not.
of the thing.
Knabbmaster's
What?
going to teleport him anyway, and it'll count as moving into the zone.
He
Does
could
it?
be moving.
Yes.
Okay, now that I didn't know that interaction counted. So
Okay, but the point is that he could be moving too. if he wants to move out of the zone. Make it so
That's true. He could be
Nab
moving
has
too,
to
yeah.
pay for that, you know?
Yeah, if you're gonna make him pay for it, then you have to make him pay 6 for it.
Like,
But
make
you're
him
losing
pay the
actions,
1
and I didn't
mana.
realize the teleport still counted.
Yeah, it does. But make the gremlins pay 1 mana to attack you. You know, things like that.
There you
Like,
go.
If you're gonna actually like play this weird game of I'm gonna try to fight these gremlins, make them come after you.
You're also, by moving out of the pillar, you're still making it so you can't cast full actions.
That's true as
So
well.
I don't know if that limits you based on what's in the book, but
This could be a jinx, could be a rust. Doesn't need to be a rust. Probably just a jinx or an unholy reversal.
Another 2 damage?
at this point, little damage is going to keep adding up.
And there's, again, no creatures out. Oh no. The cure, is this an unholy reversal?
It
It
is.
is! Nab is doing really well in this game, man.
Yeah, he's predicting well. He's
Yeah.
countering those. This is one of those, like, he's prepared. He's 3 steps ahead, and he doesn't have to worry about the next step because he's way ahead.
Yeah.
Oh. So he had a cure and
So that heal was a little lower than the last one, but it's still, on the whole, between the 2 heals, he's done 15 healing out of 16 possible, or average dice.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like,
You need the creatures on the field, man.
all he's doing is curing and healing and then taking that damage right back. Like, he's not
Yeah.
he's losing mana on his total supply while not being able to maintain. And I think he's relying on his ballista to basically do all the damage in this game, but ballista ain't gonna win you this, basically. Like, it's a good card, but it's not a
Yeah.
winning the whole game kind of card, you know
Right.
what I mean?
It's not going to advance your board state, and the wizard can kind of just sit back and watch you run yourself out of heals, for example.
Yeah.
I think the biggest mistake right now is not getting creatures on the field when he could have in the first turn.
I mean, I guess we could take a look and see what he could have done that turn in addition. Like, if he'd gotten both of those creatures out, like we said, he would have had, what, 6 mana to
8
do
mana.
stuff with? 8 mana
He
to
had
do
8
stuff?
men on the first turn. So the 8 men on the first turn leaves you with, so you can, if you really want to play the try to get the heck out of the pillar game, you can move, force push yourself, and minor heal. I'm not convinced that's ever a good play, because they're just going to keep putting you back in.
Yeah.
So that
it's
leaves you
not
with
gonna
8
win
mana
you.
to put on armor, I think, because at the time he still was rusted, but like Justin pointed out, if you put on the radiant plate and a leather, you have 1 armor. If you dispel the rust the next turn, you have 3.
Yeah.
And you have 2 creatures to join you.
Oh,
So-
not enough. Not enough.
I mean, like, he also has the armor that gives you a guard, and he's also not doing that.
yeah,
No, he
has
hasn't
been,
been.
he has been doing that.
He's been guarding.
Has he been?
Yeah,
that's
it's
good,
just-
actually.
Yeah, this is going pretty quick to see it, but he's been doing it.
I guess what I would love to see in this game, because I don't know how much he just keeps healing, and I'm not sure how far this is going to take him.
I mean,
I guess what I would love to see is just him to even have unavoidable punch attacks, so he could at
Yeah.
least be like, I'm gonna at least challenge you or something like that.
He's
I don't
technically
know, like-
extending the game, but I don't know that it's buying him anything.
and the jelly's gonna get
So.
a free attack in.
Yeah. At this point, Nab is...
We have seen 3
That was
teleports
just
out of
mad.
Knabbmaster.
Yeah. Well, it's in school for a wizard. I'm not actually that surprised by that. That's if I was playing as the same wizard, I probably would run 3 as well.
Teleports are also good against Paladin.
Oh,
Teleports
Jeez.
are really good overall.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, wow, that was a good hit.
And now an elemental
Bring
wand.
Bring out the
Jeez.
kill.
Yeah. I mean, the advantages have compounded to the point where this is
This
just...
is Voldemort
Yeah.
teleporting Harry Potter to right now.
Voldemort.
Yes, this is going on in this game right now, man.
Nice.
I mean, now he has 10 mana on this banner, but it's so far away. With
Yeah.
less than 10 life left.
I think
I don't- I
if
don't
you
think-
weren't going to cast creatures, the banner's a waste of 7 mana. Could have probably spent it on something else.
I guess if
And
you
it's
were to open
not
it
easy to think
differently,
about.
well, with just a ballista opening turn 1, like turn 2, putting the banner like closer to the gate, and then just like not killing the gate immediately, but like getting creatures out and then doing a big rush turn 3 or 4.
Why not do ballista banner
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that would be the
on the
best
same on the
option.
first turn? Yeah, I mean the alternative to your cheated. I like the cheat speed idea better, but Ballista Banner can work too.
Dude, cheetah speed is so good.
Hurl
Yeah.
boulder.
Super rushable.
Yeah. At this point, it's
Boom.
just compounding advantage, adding all up
Yeah,
here.
and why not hurl boulder here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I'm not-
so-
Sure, I understand the reasoning behind the lesser. Oh, maybe because it's slow.
The jelly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
it's
away
slow.
from the jelly.
But then
Now-
also, I mean,
now
it
the
makes,
wizard has to use his main action to get him in the zone with the jelly.
Yeah, so it makes him have to do that.
You might
but
just zap him. Or
He's
punch
been
him.
doing that all game. Excuse me.
So is that 1 damage left?
Yeah.
Punch him to death. Punch him to death.
Oh no. Well, I don't know. There may be a right place somewhere. I think you could have waited till first quick cast next turn to do that. Because you already took the boulder this turn, and now you're in range of a quick lesser teleport for the jelly.
Yep.
What's he
Or
end up
zap.
doing though? I don't know how he does it, but maybe he just zaps him.
Teleports the jelly.
never mind. Yeah, there's the
He's gonna
teleport.
make
Okay,
it.
yeah. So,
Yeah, and this will be game here. Unless he gets really unlucky.
yeah. Well,
No.
technically not. What?
Oh, what's his life at?
He had one.
He's got
at
one left.
35.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
He only took
Awesome.
one from the jelly. That was a lucky one. I think the game is still going to end up being over. That being said, I don't want to, like... We're not
I
trying
guess-
to pick on anybody here for the record. We do want to point out some lessons that could be learned, though.
So if he did 2 messengers of Bimshal out of this turn,
At all steps of the game. Sorry, keep going.
Well, they do actually do an additional 2 dice against non-living.
right? If he did 2 messengers of Bimshal out of this turn, he would have, what is that? 9 mana left over for another heal or more armor.
Yeah.
If he wanted to armor swap, like, I don't know.
And
it just seems
I'm
like
a huge fan of the messengers for more than just the healing. That the flying in general is good. It
Flying
makes
Aegis
it
one.
tougher to hit.
Yeah.
Flying Aegis 1, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the toughest angels that exist, but at least being a flyer will help out a lot, especially against the jelly.
Yeah, I mean, they cost, what, 8 or 9?
9.
And you get 4 dice.
Yeah,
You get
they're
4
9.
dice of healing, so essentially you have a 5 mana creature out there. That's
Yeah,
not
oh.
bad for flying Aegis 1, 2 dice.
Yeah, and they do extra damage against the jelly.
dude, look at that.
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
damage heal.
Wow.
Still
The
no
heals have been
deploys.
pretty on point. Yeah.
Still no deploys from that banner.
Yeah, even in this situation, I think deploying would be your best bet. I don't know why you wouldn't.
He's getting knocked around now.
Yeah.
This feels very old wizard days right now.
Yeah, this is old school wizard. I love
You know
it.
what I mean? Like, I dig
Wow.
this. He's gonna hit the gremlin.
Nope. He said Gremlin's gonna dodge because the Gremlins are like that.
Because gremlins are assholes. Yeah, that's true.
What is
Oh,
that?
Golden
shield. Okay, I actually dig that.
Yeah, here you go. I mean, that may have been better to put on
Against the
4
pillar.
turns ago.
Yeah. The pillar would have been a great choice for that card.
Yeah, that would have been helpful against the pillar. Exactly.
And the fact that you get to choose to the defense, so like when the boulder happened, just been like,
Yeah.
okay, that is the one I'll dodge, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And the zap.
Zap should
Yeah,
do
the-
it there. Yeah.
Yeah, the board state advantage is such that it's
He's gonna try to golden shield.
yeah, you try to golden shield didn't work, but the board state advantage is too much to overcome. Even with
Yeah, it's gonna
even
be
if
initiative.
Nab rolled poorly, he's so far ahead right now. It's tough to catch up.
It's Nab's initiative, so he'll have to do
So,
the angels.
What do you
No,
think
it's over
was
now.
the fateful turn here?
I'm not sure
If
it
you
was
go
a
back.
one-turn thing. I think there was a culmination of a lot of small decisions that were made that added up in the end.
Turn
Alright,
one, he didn't.
we're gonna
It's
go
all
back.
about when you rush, maximizing the amount of power you can do. Turn 2,
Right.
turn 4.
So in this case, I think turns 1 to 3 decided where the game was going, and the reaction from turns 3 to 5 are where it really sealed his fate.
Yeah, I'd agree
If
with
that
that.
Alright,
makes
so
sense.
this is what we
'Cause
see
right here-
turn 1.
Yeah, pause it.
I pause it. This is
So
what we
right
see
here,
turn
if he
one.
had done something, for example, he has plenty of mana to do. If he had done a cheetah speed like Justin suggested and done the ballista,
then he would
he
be
is
here.
both- he would be there, and he would both be in range to go knock out a guard
Yeah.
by punching it and then hitting with a force hammer. Or by doing that, he can also prepare 2 attack spells to hit the gate in case there isn't a guard that shows up,
it
and
costs,
you
what,
still have the
5?
ballista.
Costs 5 mana for cheetah speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he'd have 15, which is enough for 2 attack spells.
which is enough for 2 attack spells, so like a luminous blast and a
And a force hammer.
what's the force hammer.
I mean,
And
you
he
could
does bring a force hammer.
yeah.
But what he can do then is prepare if he thinks a gargoyle with a defend is coming up, You prepare the Force Hammer, you prepare the Luminous Blast, you get ready to run in and punch the guard if you need to, and if a guard doesn't show up, then you run in and blast it twice with the thing and hit it with the Ballista.
So that would
That's
mean
an alternative tactic there.
That would mean that ideally you kill the gate turn 2.
Yes.
And then, so there'd be one gremlin or gargoyle or something like that.
Right.
Probably a gremlin.
There'd be one gremlin and a wizard there zapping you, and that's going to hurt, and it's going to be a pain guaranteed because he takes the rust this turn and a zap. But
you have a ballista backing you up.
You have
there's
exactly.
one gremlin, right?
Yep.
And then
the paladin specializes in knocking out targets.
So
and he still has a banner. Theoretically, if he's punching, he's gaining mana.
Yep.
Theoretically, you know.
So I would make the point that I think that is one option, and I think it's a pretty strong option to at least explore down the road. Now, from here, since we've identified that option, we can mind game it all we want, but what I want to do is continue on with what actually happened, and we can analyze where we go from here as well. So this turn is the turn where he does the Force Hammer thing, so we can speed through it a little bit like you're doing. But where I want to pause it is the next turn after that, and talk about it, because the response to the gremlin, probably I think it's going to the next turn.
Then he goes on guard there. He goes on guard here, and then
I don't like that card at all.
And then gets
that's the second. It's the second non-action that he has that I think. The build-up here is really important to use all your actions, especially for a rush. Anything here would have been good. I can't think of what...
He's got 11 mana left, right?
Yeah.
I think at that point a banner is a bad idea.
I think... Yeah, you're probably right, because it's vulnerable as hell. The 11 mana left... Honestly, fuck it. Nullify.
I mean... He has Golden Shield, and you know the wizard has Zap. You
also
might
an
as well
option.
try to mitigate that damage.
Yeah, there you go.
And put Golden Shield on this turn.
I will make a point. We are also working with extra information. What he's thinking right now from this situation where he was set up in the turn is that there's probably a gargoyle coming.
Let's see what this was. It was a Tanglevine.
Yeah, okay, so he thinks there's a gargoyle coming. Maybe using the Tanglevine anyway would have been okay. Use it on the wizard. Make him use the teleport. I don't know. Just thoughts. I don't like Tanglevine myself as a way to deal with those intercepting guards. I prefer Force Push because it's cheaper. And for a rush, you need to save the mana.
I just don't know how he expected to kill the gate with just a Force Hammer Ballista.
I don't think he did.
No, I think he was going to wait until turn 3 because of the potential for a gargoyle.
I guess
that's what I'm reading.
Ultimately, then, I just don't like that whole plan.
Yeah.
Reason set from the last turn. So.
Yeah. I would prefer the strategy we lined out last time, but since we're already here.
Honestly, I think Ballad of Courage instead of Tanglevine would have been better.
There you go. Yeah, because then, well, you still wouldn't have been able to run in there. He had to move into that zone.
Oh, that's right.
So, I see where you're going. That could go back to our cheetah speed idea. If you don't want to put cheetah speed in the book, you could do Ballad of Courage and use one of them moving forward.
Teleport, maybe? Maybe?
Teleport's an option. I like Force Push because... If you think about it, a wizard is going to go with the defensive of the gargoyle probably, or the offensive with the gremlin. And Force Push is worth its mana cost and a useful action either way, because you can push the gremlins into the wall at the very least if you don't end up using the thing. So that's just my personal preference on that one. There's probably other tactics that can be used as well.
So then we move to the next tier.
Yeah, go ahead and we'll fast forward to the next turn.
So this is the turn where he chooses to not attack the gate, right?
Yeah, because he's going to make his ballista do the work for him, which I can understand that sentiment. Keep going so we can... Yeah, keep going so we can see what ends up.
He's got 20 mana this turn. So
this is the one where he casts the banner, right?
Situation, no, I think, does he? No, he waits until the gate's dead. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Either way, keep going.
This is where he gets jinxed.
Yeah, he was going to put on the armor.
He's going to put on the armor. So let's see what's going on here.
Didn't we not know what card he had? Or what he did with one action here?
Yeah,
we'll pay attention for that one too, but I also know he got jinxed in this one. Did it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
So there was no quick cast from either side here.
Yeah.
There's a zap.
I don't know why the armor didn't go down
and
early.
A jinx.
Why didn't the armor go down in the quick cast phase? Is what I want to know.
rust revealed, so he's just like, I'm not going to cast the armor at all.
Wait a minute. What is?
Oh, he did guard. He just guarded right there. He re-guarded. He didn't do anything. So I'm curious. What does he have prepared?
Oh, he spent his action.
Yeah, his action was guarding.
Yeah.
What does he have prepared? Just curiosity.
Radiant breastplate, which we saw, and Tanglevine.
Why not cast?
Another Tanglevine?
I think he is waiting for the gargoyle. Honestly.
Ooh. Okay.
That's overcommitment. I think
What?
it's like
Yeah.
that's
What I'm seeing is screaming Gremlin Rush, and I don't see a reason for a gargoyle at all. So
honestly,
lesson to be learned here. I'd probably prepare something other than Tanglevine.
I think he got tunnel vision.
I think that's what happened here.
I think again, Ballad of Courage in this case. I see no reason not to cast that armor, even though you're rushing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I think
you cast it first. Then during your quick cast, then you can do something else with your action and still guard and get the hit off on the gremlin.
exactly, and I think that's if you have to use those 2 cards because you planned and you realize, oh crap, I can't use them. The quick cast of the armor would save a lot more pain later on, because you'll have the armor on, it won't get jinxed, and like Scott pointed out, you'll be able to go back onto guard regardless.
I'm wondering if he didn't want to move closer because he wanted Nab to pay mana to get the gremlin to him, and
He didn't have to move.
I'm seeing a lot of plays from Red Dice that tell me that when it comes to rushing, he's still trying to maximize, mana efficiency and making them pay extra. And if you guys haven't tried rushing yet, I would really suggest just let your mana fly. You're gonna waste mana on things that
You
are
gotta
too
use it.
expensive for longer games, but do the right card, not what the long game card usually dictates for you to do.
Yep, you're right. You need to use the mana now to get the advantage, because otherwise it will swing back.
And we saw Nab do the rust. There was no reason for him to do it. He didn't see any armor, but he's just I'm just gonna do it because this is a rush situation. Let's just spend mana on nothing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, then let's make sure that what armor he does try to do doesn't work the first while, so he has to deal with it. It's a great read and reaction by Nab.
Mm-hmm.
So
he also knew that first turn that Red was not going to just let a ballista keep pot shotting the gate.
Yeah.
He knew that Red was going to have to move toward the gate, and he was already here, so he knew that the rust was going to land.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
right.
Yep.
So it was a very safe play for him too. So.
Yep. I agree on all fronts. Hopefully, we're all learning something from this one too.
Yeah, I'm actually learning a lot. It being Red Dice's initiative next round,
Jinx.
I actually think this is the round that he should cast. The round that he should have cast Ballista so that he has initiative. But I don't know.
He did it so that he did it correctly.
Yeah, he's fine.
He'll have 2 things on here when they go through the upkeep.
Yeah.
So he did that part correctly. For those of you who aren't aware of what we're talking about, if you cast Ballista on the opposing player's initiative, when it comes back to your initiative, you'll get to act with the Ballista before they really have much of a chance to deal with it aside from a quick cast.
Did I say Ballista?
Yes.
I meant Banner.
Okay. For what's worth, I agree with you on that one. Yes, Banner would have been great, especially with 1,000,000 mana.
Yeah.
He only has about 500,000 mana, but it's.
Well, at this stage, we're going to see what he planned, but we've got this is the turn that he shoots this thing down, right? And we got a jet stream and a pillar of righteous flame here from Knabbmaster just going forward, and I think we see what both these are. Yeah, Crusade Banner and Jinx. So the Jinx goes down.
Jinx is an interesting play. I'm not sure I would have done it myself, but I'm not sure it's a bad play either. It's not intended to say it's a bad play.
I still think he's waiting for the gargoyle.
I think
you know
you're right.
What I mean? Because then he can jinx the defend when it's his initiative.
Oh, interesting.
And I think at that point, yeah, you're probably right. That's a good point there. And I think that the lesson here is to,
yeah, he does have a gargoyle. There is a gargoyle in here.
Does he have defend?
I don't see it.
If you have gargoyle, you have defend.
Nope, I don't see it.
He might not.
I don't think he does.
Oh, he has steal equipment though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big fan of that card.
That's an awesome card.
And banish.
Oh, he has banish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
cool.
I don't think the gargoyle defend is going to come, especially when there's 2 gremlins in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he cares about it.
Yeah,
Like
he doesn't need it.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you can just kill your opponent, why waste time trying to
I
save
think at
something?
this stage of the game, though, yes, the pillar's doing a lot of work. If Red managed to get a bunch of armor on, though, like just do what Justin said and double cast his 2 armor spells this turn.
Mm-hmm.
And
along with those creatures we're talking about.
And got the creatures out. I think he had a chance to back up from the pillar and then dispel and heal the next turn.
Mm-hmm. I still think he should. Well, a teleport's gonna work either way. I didn't realize that. I don't know. Leaving the pillar zone because someone is bringing a force push or a teleport is almost always a bad play to me. Now, wizard teleporting may be something slightly different, but I have a problem leaving the pillar zone because you're just if it's the force push, especially. I mean, there's no reason to have done it. It's a dead card. If it's a teleport, it's slightly different.
He has 30 mana this turn.
I'd like to see if he ran 2 and cast things out of his banner, if that would have worked this round as a possibility.
I think Nab would have just moved 1 and teleported him back in.
We're doing all the crazy things here.
That's true. You're spending mana on it. So that would have been useful for Red to do, I think.
What we got here?
But, you know.
Are you actually Knabbmaster in this? Can you, like, right-click and...
I am Knabbmaster.
He's Knabbmaster because that's where we get the replay from.
Does it let you reveal his cards?
I don't know. I mean, we have Knabbmaster's cards. I can see all of Knabbmaster's cards.
Yeah, and we can see what Red's got, too.
We're just peeking.
Oh, he's got flying sidekicks. That's cool. Oh, he has a Battle Forge. That would have been great turn 1. I don't know if you can hammer turn 2 if you do that, but...
Alright, he's got 2 Dorcius in here. And an Allendale.
I think instead of 2 Dorcius, he could add 1 with other healing creatures of some sort.
Yep. That leaves... Sorry. I think we're identifying other options to pack for strategy for next time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Granted, you can only work with what you got, so we're not trying to... Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to see if we could figure out why he didn't cast 2 creatures, right?
Eye for an eye against...
And it makes a lot of sense that you're gonna... If you're spending all 30 of your mana on Dorcius plus Allendale...
I probably would still do that, though.
That's not bad. I mean, Dorcius is going to heal you in the long run.
Yeah, Dorcius will help heal you. Allendale will start crushing things. I think, honestly, those 2 would give you a significant advantage in this fight, especially against 2 gremlins, which are awesome for level 2 creatures, but they get absolutely outclassed as the higher level gets out there.
Does he have any belt of any kind?
The golden, by the way, golden shield. How much is that? Like 3 mana?
5.
I think
5.
Okay, it's still cheap. Either way, it's Justin put out. It's a good cheap option for the pillar as well.
Anti-pillar.
He did have a Falcon Precision.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
That would have been helpful.
The gremlins.
And we got a bunch of leather here.
He had the sword and Falcon Precision.
Morningstar.
Cool.
2 Morningstars.
Yeah. He has the gear in his book. This just screams to me that he doesn't know how to fight rushes, and he got kind of taken by it.
There's just some practice there.
Yeah, I mean, tournaments show your weaknesses, and this is clearly something that he just needs to work on. You know what I mean? Which is like, to be fair, this is like incredibly difficult to fight.
Yeah, no, this is a finely tuned wizard gatebook, and you've got to be able to react well.
He's got pure strengths. Yes.
Yeah, no, Red's Paladin. There's nothing wrong with Red's Paladin. Yeah, he has a solid Paladin book here.
Yep. It's just tactical.
It was the fact that there were a couple of wasted actions at the beginning because he was planning for something that didn't happen, right? And and that
he kept planning for the same thing and not reading what his opponent's doing.
Right. And maybe he's seen Knabbmaster do that before. Maybe Knabbmaster decided to do something different because he knew that Red knew that he knew that, all these other things. I mean, it could have been just a bunch of second guessing going on. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, this turn, when you have...
Well, this is why we're trying to identify the lessons to learn as well.
I mean, this turn, he's only at 12 damage. He's gonna take 3, 6, 10, 14 dice this turn. Probably 18 dice this turn. So he's probably not gonna die. If he gets Allendale and Dorcius out, do you think he has a chance to survive if all average damage here?
Does he have the boots?
The eagle, the steadfast boots? I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I honestly, personally don't like steadfast boots all
That's
that much unless it's a very specific situation I'm going into.
Like versing wizards.
Well, that might be one
That's
reason.
an interesting point.
That might be one reason, yes. But I generally like to stay mobile, and I like to be able to use my movement spells on myself.
Well,
but
especially with a paladin, you want to be in a melee.
yeah, if you're, I mean, they wouldn't have been a miss this time. I don't think. Like a steadfast boots right here, so that, or if you moved over in steadfast boots, man, that would have wrecked the teleport play from
and
Knabbmaster.
if he does a dissolve and a teleport, then you're like, okay, well, he's got 2 actions, you know?
Yeah, and at that point you're bringing some of the action economy back in your, not necessarily in your favor, but you're making it break even on the tempo instead of just Knabbmaster gaining with every play.
Do you guys think he could have cast Battleforge earlier, and it'd be helpful?
So first turn could also, now that we know he has one, a Battleforge and a Ballista might have been an interesting play.
We did not check to see
he had enough mana to do it in turn 1.
What he played for turn 1. What he prepared for
prepared.
turn 1.
Oh, his second card? That's
yeah,
good.
what was his second card?
That's a good question. All right,
we'll
find out, I guess.
Analyzing the whole game.
No, analyzing is good because you can learn a lot of lessons from things.
I'm actually really enjoying this analysis here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what he got here. We got Ballista, which we know about, and Crusade Banner. He had both of them.
Ooh, man. I would have loved to see both go down.
I mean,
personally.
why not? Just place the banner.
Especially when you think about the fact that the 2 creatures you're probably going to cast are Dorcius Allendale against this Gremlin Rush, even if it wasn't a Gremlin, even if it was just a defensive book. Having the mana there gathering, having the banner there gathering mana, you can cast them a lot easier, even if you don't end up with 1,000,000 mana like you do. I think it would have been a good play to move one banner and Ballista.
Yeah, I agree.
It would have been great.
I totally agree with you on that.
It does adjust a little bit of the mana curve for the next turn. I'll make that point. So he would have had 13 mana to attack with, but that alone could still be your Tanglevine and your Force Hammer, right? Because Force Hammer is 8.
Force Hammer's 9.
Okay, in that case, I'd probably swap the Force Hammer out for a Boulder next time.
No, I would say don't Tanglevine. Use the Force Push.
Yeah, there you go too.
Force
I like
Push
the Force Push as well.
And Force Hammer still gets you going. And you're gaining mana on the banner while you're dealing with the spawn point of the enemy. I really like this prep. This prep is really good with the tools that he had. I would have really liked to see him have room in his book for something slightly cheaper than Allendale and Dorcius, though. Because that gives you a lot more flexibility with your banner.
Was he afraid of the banner dying?
Maybe.
Is that why he didn't cast it?
Or maybe it wasn't close enough? I mean, if you put it here...
Yeah, I mean, no matter where you put it, honestly, if it goes off, I think it's worth it.
Well, I don't think... The problem is, I would have loved to see him move 2 and banner right there. But he wouldn't have been able to get Dorcius and Allendale out this next turn. He would have had to have something slightly cheaper to do that.
Yeah. I think the Ballista and the banner going down, you still leave your Force Hammer, Force Push option open to hit the gate. And the Force Push becomes useful because if... As we know he does, if he casts a Gremlin, you can push it into a wall, and it's automatic 3 dice. So, strategic things to think about the next time if anybody's using a Paladin trying to rush a Wizard.
Banner is something we haven't actually seen a lot of in tournaments, and I think it's one of those cards that people haven't really tested out that much. Just because like a lot of people think Banner, I have to hold on to this as long as possible to get
as much mana as possible because the channel's 2.
Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with placing Banner and then immediately casting out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
if you think about the costing of Banner, right? It costs you a quick action and 7 mana, and then it regains 2 mana immediately, right? So it only really costs you 5 mana, and it saves you 2 full actions, as opposed to 2 quick actions, and the mana differential there is what, like 4. 2 mana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2
full
mana.
actions are 2.
So you're technically losing 3 mana if you spend it the next turn. Right?
Right.
So if you spend it the next turn, you're losing 3 mana, but the tempo advantage you're gaining with having twice as many creatures out as the other person on turn 2.
Well, that's
It's
the thing.
just-
You gotta
yeah.
think also you have 2 creature actions, which how much mana is that worth in and of itself? You know.
You could even run Rouse the Beast with that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you really wanted to. But yeah, I really like Banner. I think it needs to be used more often. The trick
agree.
is using it well.
I also agree with that. It's tough, but I still think that is the right one.
I'd love to see somebody use a Banner against a Druid. Run 2, Banner right here.
That'd be
Wham.
nuts.
Two,
Right?
So if
2 Royal
If you
Archers
would've,
instantly.
if you would have Battle Forged instead of Banner,
Yeah.
how different is this game?
Well, if we look at
Well, he would have had more armor even despite the rust.
Just
yeah,
casual.
he wouldn't have had to
Yeah.
use his own actions getting armor on. And he definitely had several pieces of leather. He could have gotten easily up to about 3 mana or 3 armor without using his own actions or without
Yeah.
spending a significant amount of mana. I think
Yeah.
That's kind of my thinking too.
Right.
now he would have still had barely enough mana to force push and force hammer the next turn. So I think lesson learned there is use both of your actions and make them count. Either Banner or Battleforge would have worked fine. Right?
Yep.
I
I
think
think
so.
both of them are good
Yeah.
because you're using. If you're gonna rush, you need to use the mana and the actions. Then if you're gonna, you just need a fallback plan too, and there wasn't one here.
Because Ballista Forge is 16, puts you down to 3. Then you're at 12. So you don't actually... Oh, but then you have 1 on the Forge, right?
Yeah.
But you still don't have exactly enough that you need in order to use Force Push and Force Hammer.
Right, and that's why I like the banner play.
So...
Personally, I like the banner play because I mean you're also going to attack. The other way to think about it in this case is you're going to attack their spawn point, which spawns creatures. If you are able to take it out fairly quickly, you can either nullify their advantage, or gain the advantage by dropping their creatures of your own.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cool. Well, hey, well played by Knabbmaster there. Just reading the situation so well. Always
Yeah,
2 steps
very good
ahead.
job.
And you had the tools you needed, Red. That's what
Yep.
we're gonna say.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Just think about it methodically in the future. Just be prepared for what you are going to see.
And
And
honestly,
then be ready
man,
to adjust, because when the gremlins start showing up, you're probably not going to see the gargoyle.
or they'll throw you for a loop and gargoyle again next time.
Well, now that we're talking about it, of course they will. But, you know.
Can
But
I just say
it's
I
just-
love watching old men just beat people up and whenever the wizard just like brings the pain, I'm always like, you get him, old man, you still got it, you know. Like I imagine after when he's just like I win, you know, like that's how I imagine he's laughing.
Man, I imagine him as someone who doesn't laugh.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's
why,
true, he looks
which is why I hate him.
Which is pretty much what he looks like right now. Angry old man.
Angry old man, get off my lawn.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, I think we've
All right.
beaten this one to death.
Yeah, we have. I
Good
think
game,
getting
good
more
predators,
practice with
yeah.
rushes is really good. I mean,
It's underrated skill.
yeah.
Rushing is not as easy as it looks because of the stuff you have to balance.
It has gotten easier with a lot of the new cards, but like you still have to know what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So a couple of different openers, and that could have gone quite differently.
I think, and honestly, even the way it played out, it wasn't super one-sided to the point of not being able to be turned around. I just think
yeah.
the choices to heal and not to put
Yep.
creatures out on the board are what ultimately doomed the Paladin here.
Yep. It's a learning game.
Yep.
Very cool
So,
game.
All right. Thanks you guys. Thanks for joining me.
thanks for joining us.
Good game, guys. And we'll
When in
see-
doubt, kill it with fire.
kill it with fire. Yeah, sure. Or lightning, or boulders, or whatever.
No.
Fire.
Fire.
Wizard.